We're in Greenwich, Connecticut.
Greenwich, hot and steamy.
Yeah, well, yeah, you know,
Actually,
we're approaching summer.
Actually, yes, it's an absolute beautiful day. It's a great day to go digging in probably one of the most strangest locations. But let's start with,
Sure.
Welcome to Stories from the Attic. I'm Greg.
President Roosevelt is the
Hi, I'm Martin Blanco.
I'm Greg Van Hitver, and we're here for Stories from the Attic, out of breath because we not only have been through this, empty house, but we've been through actually, 9 others?
Yeah, about 9.
9 or 10 others.
Yeah.
I've lost count.
Yeah.
I've lost count.
That's a first for you.
Well, I've also lost 5 pounds in sweat, which is not a first for me. But what we have here today is really an opportunity to dig even after everybody has gone through and picked and dug. And it throws, it's the gauntlet, Martin. The gauntlet.
Okay.
It's always about the gauntlet.
The gauntlet, right?
It throws.
And we have a gauntlet.
We have a gauntlet. No, we did not find the gauntlet. Someone picked that up weeks ago.
Probably 2 days ago, yeah.
But no, what it is it represents a challenge. Because why would you come down to a teardown if you're looking for hidden history? Well, for me, the obvious answer is all the detritus has been exposed, has been removed.
Yeah.
And what's left is building fixtures and access to hidden panels behind walls and the opportunity to dig a little deeper if we need to, because this house and the other 10 others are going to be demolished.
Yeah.
And very shortly. So it's an opportunity to do that. And of course, we had to come down and check it out because it's just too cool an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
But can we find hidden history even after everyone has been through here? The answer is yes.
Maybe.
Well, we found some hidden treasures.
Yeah.
Maybe they aren't history. You found a couple of things. What did you find?
I found a perfectly good Verizon flip phone, which I wanted, and I bought that for $5, and it came with 2 things for free, ostensibly.
Right. So,
and I think one of the offices one of the buildings was also a law office or an investment firm. There was a lawyer there. Found this button, "Lawyer from Hell," and cute. But the reason why I bought this is just a couple of weeks ago, my daughter graduated from Georgetown Law School, and she's studying for the bar exam. And I thought she'll get a kick out of this little button or whatnot. But the other thing I got, which was intriguing, not tangentially of historic interest. There was something underneath this called the Lawyer's Prayer. It's a very brief prayer, and it's by St. Thomas More. And the reason why I picked that up for my daughter is she went to Georgetown Law School, and St. Thomas More is the patron saint, if you will, of the school. There's a St. Thomas More Society. They pray to St. Thomas More. There was a chapel for St. Thomas More. So here is St. Thomas More's Lawyer's Prayer.
We'll shoot an image of that so the audience doesn't have to squint to see it.
Good. Even better idea. You think I've never done this before.
That's right.
But there we go. So, at any rate, these are just little novelties to cheer her up while she's studying for a bar exam. But St. Thomas More was a man of the law, of the English law, and it was in upholding what he thought to be the law of the church above the king's law that got him into a little peck of trouble, and so he is a martyred saint. But he's thought of, he's an important figure to us even today, particularly at Jesuit universities with a law school there. So
and that's
a little taste of history.
And that's Thomas More, Esquire.
Yes. Saint Thomas More, Esquire.
And that's not for whom the bell tolls.
Yes. No.
That's another thing. Well,
it must be 12 noon. It is. No, that's the bells of St. Mary's. I swear to God, we're right behind Greenwich Avenue, which is a bustling commercial street in Greenwich, Connecticut, and that's the church. That's the noon bell for St. Mary's Church. I know that because I actually lived here, not 200 yards from here when I was first married. I was surprised to come here. You could, if you were able to look through these walls and tear down the trees, you'd see our apartment.
You could throw a lawyer from hell button.
You could throw. With a good thing, you might hit the
good flick of the
window.
wrist.
Yeah.
I also
What
found,
did you find?
I think I actually found hidden history. I found
there
a
you
book
go.
called Connecticut Reports, which is leather bound. It's actually kind of cool looking. It looks like it's been repaired. The binding, the spine. Someone broke its spine. I hope there was a lawsuit after the
Almost
spine was
certainly,
broken.
yeah.
Because really, you really want to call a lawyer if your spine needs to be covered with Scotch tape. But I thought this was fascinating because it is from 1896. And it is the judges of the Supreme Court of Errors.
Oh.
Yeah, the Supreme Court
What
of
was
Errors.
the Supreme Court of Errors?
Yeah, so it's during the time of the within decisions. I love that, or the decisions within. So it no commentary on today's Supreme Court, but the fact that this is the Supreme Court of Errors, I think is kind of apropos. Maybe it's me, but I just
It seems fitting.
I enjoy finding a book that is kind of just has this beautiful leather-bound cover, and there's going to be something that I might be able to draw upon. It could be Cook versus Morris, or it could be Brown versus Brown.
Who won?
What happens when you mix brown and brown, Martin? You just
get brown.
You just get brown. Yeah, right. So really, that's it's no surprise. The point is that even in amongst all this teardown, we still were able to find treasures.
Yeah.
Treasures that you valued, serendipity for you, and I got to dip in history for me, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I'd say it was a success. I would recommend that if you ever see a teardown advertised, that you don't pass it up. I think it's worth coming down to see what was left behind and what was missed.
Yeah.
And that's always good advice if you're looking for treasure.
You know what's kind of ironic?
What's that?
This whole thing is going to be torn down or whatever. And the demolition has sort of begun in some of these units in a small way. And each one of these, whatever state they're in, is in better condition than some of the houses not slated for demolition that you've taken in. Am I telling the truth?
You are telling the
Yes.
truth, Martin.
Okay.
That yes, that when you talk about a house having good bones, but you just can't see it.
Yeah.
This is actually one where we can actually
see the bones, yeah.
see the bones, and some of the skeletons in the closet, or in the law books. But anyway, I think we're gonna wrap it up for now.
Okay.
Until next time. Thanks so much. This is Stories from the Attic. I'm Greg Van Antwerp.
I'm Martin Blanco.
And we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Bye.
President Roosevelt is the
Ahoy! A bird! We must be near land! Man the sails, mates! Captain, princess, bring us the yodels!
Yodels?
We'll eat before we go ashore!
Oh, so that's what pirates eat.